We're live. Hey. Mike, Chris and I were talking and we wanted to bring something up to you.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't
Yes.
sound happy. Last week, at the very end of the episode, we hinted once again that you should take us to Chicago very, very, very subtly.
Because Wizard World is coming to Chicago, October 15th through 17th, in Rosemont at the Rosemont Convention Center. So get your tickets now at wizardworld.com. Continue, Kevin. What were you saying?
Great. Well, you jumped right in there. Well, you said we would talk about it if we could get the show in under an hour.
Yes.
Well, I just did a little bit of math. I got my Post-it note. Our episode ran in entirety 1 hour, 1 minute, and 5 seconds last week.
Right.
However,
which is why we said maybe it was not gonna that one didn't count. We'd have to look at next week.
Right, because we did start the actual episode 1 minute and 46 seconds in. Therefore, we really only went 59 minutes and 33 seconds. I'm just saying.
We'll have to go back and check the tape on that, Kevin, and see. I'm going to go ahead and look at that right. Oh, my gosh, it's the opening to the show.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristen. Oh yeah.
This is absurd.
You know what's not absurd, Kevin? That song is a bop. Like, you can, no matter, Hot Breakfast, if you don't know who they are the folks that wrote our opening theme song. Follow them. They are one of my favorite bands.
They're awesome.
I am Kristin Finger, the host of Remark, and this is
Kevin Reagan, the host of Remark, and tonight we're talking about the Disney Plus series Loki, specifically episode 5, Journey into Mystery. Also, happy Shark Week, everybody.
Shark Week.
Oh, I didn't
Big
realize it was
week.
Shark Week.
Loki episode 5, Shark Week.
Well, it's not quite. It'll be next week, so I'll take this shirt off and just,
Whoa!
Oh, is it? Are we not in the spoilers?
What a reveal! What a reveal!
Yeah, guys.
Kevin.
I just want you to know, I'm selling these out of my car right now since they're official merch.
Disney's going to come after you. Disney's going to come after you. Kevin, literally right before you, I did not know you had that shirt on, full disclosure. Leonard Steinman, it was in the chat, watching right before you revealed, said old Loki is definitely Kang in disguise. So we already have a theory.
I'm with you.
Almighty Seaver on YouTube says, nice Loki Gator. Leonard says it's Loki Gator week, not Shark Week.
That's true.
Nostalgic Pop Blast is watching from Atlanta. Kerry Rice just laughed at the opening. And Nostalgic Pop Blast says the coolest thing from a comic collector perspective was seeing the Thanos helicopter from the Kitty Spidey super stories. There's already a lot going on in the chat, Kevin and Chris.
So much.
A lot of people remarking as you remark. So just wanted to get you up to speed. But nice shirt reveal.
Thank you, Mike, for letting us know the audience's brains need to release as much information as we do about this episode.
Yeah.
But yes, this is our Loki Gator. For some reason, a little backstory. My husband's family, at one time when they were playing cards, said he has alligator hands or alligator arms. So they got him this. So when I saw that there was an alligator Loki, I was like, I finally get to put a use to that besides it just sitting on the back of our couch in the basement.
John must have grown into his arms because I don't think he has alligator arms at all.
I know. So, Kev, Journey into Mystery, episode 5. I did a little research. Don't worry about it. Also, don't forget, fans at home, when Kevin and I get crap wrong, please email us at remarktheshow@gmail.com because we will get so much wrong.
Can I tell you real fast? We got an email last week, and this is the answer to the email, in fact, because we couldn't remember when we were talking about the timekeepers. one had the mustache like Mobius, one had the horns like Loki, and one of them, and I couldn't remember what it was, and he looks like Kang. So there you go. This is for Gary. Gary, I hooked you up with my shirt. So, and it almost says Gary. You got a G and an A, and that's it. It doesn't even come close.
That's it. That's all we could get. But I did a little research, and Journey into Mystery is the first comic appearance of our friend Loki.
True, that. And it wasn't even Marvel yet. It was pre-Marvel. It was Atlas Comics. So very cool. Awesome.
So something else that I forgot to mention last week that I need to get out of my brain is that closing the end credit scene, which we opened with a bit in this episode, little reminiscent of how the end of the first Avengers ended for Loki, with him on the ground and folks in like perfect height and like circling around and above him, which I thought was pretty cool, because even Loki himself says in this episode, I don't know, what is it, 2 days ago that I was in New York? I don't know what time it is anymore.
No construct. Absolutely.
He's had a crazy few days. And this is just another crazy one, which I know we're not allowed to use the song anymore, but guess what? Loki got knocked down, but he got up again and he flipped his hair. That was like within the first 20 seconds of the episode, he did a hair flip.
Yeah, Mike, do you want to address that as well, that we're not able to
we if you noticed last week, not only did the program come in at just under an hour, it also at least 15 seconds of it were flagged by YouTube because we played Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping, I Get Knocked Down. And I thought I only played a short enough clip, so that's on me. So I also technically extended your episode even longer than it was supposed to be. Hey, a lot of people still again remarking right now in the chat. Jazz says, "What up from PDX?" Jazz is back, everybody. I'm waiting in line right now to see Black Widow, but loved Loki. Alligator Loki was the fave. Retro Loki going in to save Loki and Sylvie was amazing. Almighty Seaver says, "You look like Krang because of all the yellow." Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just put an R.
Because of the pink glasses, and then so anyway, that's just another reaction.
That's awesome. Happy Black Widow Day, everyone. I'm going Saturday at 4:30 in Marlton, New Jersey. Anyone else?
I'm a movie theater fan, but there's something so comfortable about my couch and Disney Plus.
I know.
No, rude. Go see it in the
theaters.
It's
true.
You can do them both. You can do it all. You can have it all.
Kevin, if we could, I'd like to sum this episode, and Mike and folks at home, in one word, and that word is friendship.
I wonder about that. Yeah.
This episode had so much friendship in it. I wanted to, remember those bracelets? I don't know if anyone else did that with the strings and made them. Like, this whole group in their almost Jaws-esque, we're gonna need a bigger boat, drink chat. Kevin knows what I'm talking about. I feel they should have, while they were drinking wine, be making friendship bracelets so they would have given each other. Loved it.
Who are your friends in this? Because obviously Loki made a whole bunch of new friends.
Yeah.
So we had boastful Loki. I think I kept saying Thor last week too. It's because of Mjolnir. He holds Mjolnir. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
We have Kid Loki. We have what is the term? Classic Loki, Elder Loki. I don't want to say old Loki. Richard E. Grant Loki.
I think that's the proper one.
A lot of people are saying old Loki out there, but I know Nostalgic Podblast knows the actual name. So, Chance, help us out. What is the comic book name for the older Loki? Out there?
I'm going to call him, until we know, I'm going to call him Elder Loki.
The Elder Loki.
Yeah.
Of course, Loker Gatey?
Yeah, Lokergate. It's a problem.
So Kev, I think that's just like friendship, and then all the other Lokis show up, more friendship.
No, they were all crappy Lokis in the sense that they weren't. Even boastful Loki was not a good Loki.
Not a good Loki.
And they speak to that. The idea of our Lokis. We know Lokis are survivors. But will Lokis turn on Lokis? And there's something awesome about what Elder Loki was going through to become his best Loki, right?
Yeah.
to see Loki, when I just say Loki, I mean our Loki, obviously.
Our Loki.
Yeah, to see Loki decide, no, I'm going to go back. And yes, his plan was to kill Eliath. Not the best plan, or paper cut Eliath to death, as Sylvie said. But, he was doing something. It was, he spoke highly of Sylvie and the idea that she's not trying to take over the TVA. She wants to burn it down. She wants to just shut the thing down. Yeah. And it really awoke Kid Loki. It awoke Elder Loki. Boastful Loki was already gone, fighting the not good fight. President Loki had lost a hand. So.
That was amazing. Like, I don't know why, but his scream, like...
Oh, yeah. So great. Chris, I know we're not really breaking down the episode. That's fine, too.
Not at all.
In that fight scene, when it was happening, and I'm not even going to say Loki, when Tom Hiddleston was kind of like doing that dance walk through, it was you, man. I pictured you at your wedding, and I was like, that's Kristin. That is my dear friend dancing. It was
That's
awesome.
my dance walk. One of my favorite things that Loki says in this episode is, don't die isn't a plan. It's a general demand of living. Yeah. And if we could all just get that on a shirt, like, I think we should.
And black tape.
Yeah, send me $5. I will put that on a shirt.
Yeah. So another friendship that I think is something that's a bit odd is, I'm going to call her Ravenclaw, but it's not. It's Ramona.
Ravonna Renslayer.
Thank you. And Ms. Minutes.
Yeah.
They have like a little bit of like a. Did you see their like?
Doggy.
Like
when Tara Strong went, "Whoo, doggy!" I was like,
doggy. But like, I feel like they have a side friendship.
Yeah. That
like is a deeper of.
Oh yeah.
Who and what is Miss Minutes?
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, hello. It's funny because so when Ravonna was kind of buying time, she never really said anything to Miss Minutes, and then Miss Minutes brought up this the Void craft, which I got to tell you, the second she said it, my heart dropped, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds awful. It reminded me of Godzilla, King Kong versus Godzilla, and I was like, really? They're gonna do this weird craft that can go into the void? And they didn't, and they made it like such a joke, and I was so happy. It made me very
good. It was good. But I'm telling you, Sylvie is the most badass. Woo!
Yeah.
I have such a girl boner for her, like all the time. Like when she just, I mean, I get it. She don't trust nobody, but she's
including
smart
bus
about
doors.
it.
She doesn't trust bus doors either, so she'd rather just kick out a bus window.
She's amazing, and just okay. As someone that taught color guard for 10 years, the choreography that they gave her when she stood up, spun the thing around and went, was like, I was like, a 5, 6, 7, 8, up, in. Like, it was just, I was like, get it. Like, I loved it so much.
I would like to point out to everybody watching who doesn't have an intimate relationship with Kristin, doesn't know her deeply, that we are 5 episodes in, the penultimate episode of Remark looking over Loki, and that was the first time she mentioned she did color guard. Guys, that's impressive. Yeah.
It's not even like a humble brag. It's not even like, I won the lottery. It's like, I did color guard in high school, and then I taught it for 10 years.
That's how you introduce yourself to me.
Hey, everyone.
Some theories out there coming through. Leonard says they think that Miss Minutes is also a variant, like a trapped variant of a character. Boastful Loki, everyone hates. They said Boastful Loki sucks. It's retro from Jazz and Leonard. Retro Loki is the official term.
Retro Loki. Thank you, Jazz.
Yeah. And Gary says Sylvie 10 out of 10 fluid. I was going to say that too. I think they're doing not. That I'm not gonna downplay Tom Hiddleston and his character of Loki and the sexual fluidity there, but just this again portrayed as female version of Loki, I just think is such a beautiful character.
Oh yeah.
And even more attractive to me than Tom Hiddleston. Sorry, Kristin. And again, not because it's man woman, just because of the way the character she's
Mike,
portrayed.
don't be sorry.
Yeah.
I'm very
Lady boner.
confused as to if I'm finding
Ooh.
her more attractive than Tom.
Oh
at
my
this
gosh.
point.
That talk about never mentioning color guard before. Kristin just alluded that she might be finding someone more attractive than Tom Hiddleston, and I don't know how
I don't know.
I don't know how to handle
I don't know who I am anymore.
But that's the chat.
Yeah, no, she's been absolutely amazing and really pulling everything together. There's the one line that comes up from Retro Loki. I wrote it down so I don't keep saying Elder. He talks about, they're angry. It's after they leave the fight in the bowling alley. Retro Loki uses magic to get them out of there, and then he's pissed and he says, almost under his breath, "Cannot change. We're broken. Every version of us forever." And they've yet to meet this female version of Loki. They haven't met Sylvie, even though Loki has spoken of her. And when they do, they really all just immediately, I don't want to say fall in line, but they really just, are enamored by this difference. Boastful Loki, who we all hate now, had even said he was scared at the concept when Loki brings up a female version of Loki. And it's so female empowering. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk about, I literally wrote in really big caps, Tom's run to Sylvie. When he sees her, my God, I might go, I don't know how to get footage off things. So Kevin, you're gonna have to do that for me, but we need to
I don't either.
We need to put that in slow motion and put it to Dreamweaver. That's all I'm going to sing of it because I don't want us to get banned. But that moment,
if they can't recognize the melody, you're fine, Kristen. Yeah, so that one was going to slide by. I think. Yeah.
Does anyone else want to host Remark with me besides Kevin and Mike?
I just left. Only because Mike could hang up on us.
I'm kind of like I feel like I'm kind of Miss Minutes because I sort of pop on and off screen and just kind of say ancillary comments.
But so that you're right, Kevin. That moment when they all assumed, oh God, a lady Loki, God, and then that they met her, she literally enchanted them without touching them,
absolutely.
Just her. Just being like, I have a plan. We're gonna do this, you ding dongs.
Well, and I also think that they see, and this is to me what Tom Hiddleston's character has been kind of coming towards in the entire series, is that she's part of him. That's again, if you're searching for the best version of yourself, and Kid Loki, who his nexus moment is the darkest of all. He killed Thor in his that variant's world, which was crazy. He's king, which is also nice too. That they kind of skirted over King Loki, but the leader who is essentially king is Kid Loki. It was fascinating to me. And then again, Retro Loki with his feelings of, I'm never going to be better than this. I can't change. We're all broken. And obviously, it was already mentioned, Mike, at the beginning of the show. I mean, he changed the most, and we saw it, and it was a perfect end to that character. And then Retro Loki, as he laughs, I mean, that's straight out of the comic book. I mean, the frame of him laughing.
Yeah.
And God, Richard E. Grant looks exactly as drawn. Fit everything. It was fascinating how well it was done.
Kev, I think even to dig deeper and get emotional with this episode is that, Loki's obviously been so incomplete his whole life, and I'm speaking of our Loki. So meeting these other aspects of, oh, I didn't know I could be that way. Oh, I didn't know I could be that way. And right now, Sylvie is sort of the penultimate, can I use that word again, of sort of that's what I should be. I shouldn't be this dick. I should be that confident. And I think it's interesting to me to break down that oftentimes, sadly, women in society, when we are confident, when we are definitive, and we say what we want, we're called a bitch. Or they're, speaking of Shark Week, Kev, but in this case, it literally was that's what it is. It's not her. She's not a bitch. That's not even, oh my God. She's she understands who she is. But the thing that's interesting is when Ravonna, whoever, She's a bad guy. I don't like her anyway. But when she said to B-52, the B-52s, who was she talking to?
Yeah, she said to Fred, I almost said Fred Durst. That's not it.
Oh, boy.
That, like, was like, she doesn't want to take, like, that. She needs that. So that's the only thing that I'm very curious about, because don't worry about it, America. There will be more seasons. I can promise you that, because I need them.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was funny. I don't want to get too... We can talk a little bit more about that next week and see how definitive the episode feels. I mean, obviously there are movies that'll branch off, but to see if... Does it feel like they're going to do another season? I meant to write it down. There was a producer who mentioned something, alluded to it, and I think that it was a very Tom Holland moment. I don't think he was supposed to say what he said, and it kind of alluded to that there will be more Loki seasons. Yeah. And, part of me, immediately the nerd in me was like, what if they filmed more than they said and they're ready with them now? I didn't imagine.
What?
Talk about a lady boner, Kev. Jeez Louise. Get a girl going.
Yeah. So, speaking of lady boners, let's get into it a little bit. A lot of times we like to, discuss what people look like in this show. So, Mike, if you play that and give us that sweet, sweet talk you do.
Yeah, there's already a lot of kissy faces in the chat about Sylvie, so I think it's from Catherine Anderson.
Yeah.
Again, we gave her a 10 out of 10. So people are already ranking Sylvie, but this is not only about ranking Sylvie, it's about ranking all of the Lokis. So here we go, everybody. It's time for Hiddleston Heartthrob Hunkiness Objectification H3O.
That was your best one yet. By far, your best one yet.
Thank you.
Very good.
All right, should we throw up the picture? Here we go. Let me get it out here.
Thank you.
So I don't block it.
Yes. So
10 for Mike. Oh, I thought we were just...
Of course, for folks that are tuning in for their first time, you need to understand what's about to happen. We are about to objectify the male lead in this show, which is Tom Hiddleston portraying Loki. But this is a very special episode of H3O. We're going to not only objectify this Loki, but a few other Lokis as well.
Let's see what happens.
But we're going to rate Tom 1 out of 10 Loki, 1 out of 10 hornies, rather. It's how horny are you? And this is strictly based off of appearance. I used this picture. This is the picture I chose this week because I want to talk about, well, I'm not even going to get into it. I'll do that in my turn. Kev?
The friendship. You're going to talk about friendship. So as Kristin said, Mike alluded to, we aren't ranking Sylvie. Sylvie, Chris and I talked earlier today, and perfect 10 before you ever even take a look. I mean, her acting, the character, the way it's written, she's fantastic. This Loki, he is becoming the best version of himself. And he's so close. I don't want to give him the 10 yet, but he's so close. And as they hold hands, it's almost like through that enchantment, it's like, here he comes, the best version. I think it's going to show up in the next episode, so I'm going to give this one a 9.999 hornies.
Wow!
With one of those lines over that 9. Yep.
That is Kevin's highest rating yet for Loki, played by Tom. Mike, what do you give? And also, in the chat, please put in what are you giving Tom Hiddleston this episode. So, Mike, what are you giving him this week?
Yeah, we already have an 8 from Leonard Steinman. Gary says chills, a literal chills. I'm just kind of prompting them right now. What is your ranking out of 10? All right, I can't remember where I sit. We should write all these down.
We'll figure it out for next week.
Yeah.
We should.
Okay, so I went down. I went really low last week. Lang, that's weird.
It's Scott Lang the whole time.
Scott Lang the whole time.
All right, Mike, keep going.
That'd be crazy. All right, I like when he put the sort of straps on to hold he put a strap on to hold the sword, and it tightened around his chest, his pecs, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's very dashing looking here. The wind is blowing his perfect hair back beautifully. I agree, I think we're still close. We're close to perfection, but not quite there. I'm going to go pretty high. I was down on Loki for the turtleneck and for his sweatiness last week or whatever, his dirtiness. So I'm going to go 8.95. 8.95.
Very nice.
That's great.
I'm saving the 9. Brooke Curl says 9. Jazz says Sylvie looks like Natalie Dormer in this pick. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yep.
Catherine Anderson just said strap on with a bunch of laughing faces.
I get it.
But listen, Mike, you hit all the right buttons. When he put on that leather little thing, I'm not going to call it a strap on again, or should I? When he put the leather strap on, and then his pecs, and it was very reminiscent to, if you have seen Kong Skull Island, the perfect blue tee that they put him in with some leather straps in that as well. Oh my God. And also just like his pants fit really well. For some reason, every episode, his pants just keep fitting better and better. And if it was like me in the costume department, I'd just be like, here, Tom. Every day they'd just be tighter and tighter.
The Emperor's New Clothes sort of thing. Yeah.
It's like a millimeter. It's smaller and smaller. So, he gets a 10.
Love it.
Now, here's our next
Well.
Loki that this is a retro Loki that we are going to be giving. And I'll start, Kev, if you don't mind.
I would love it. Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you're going to support your friends, I'm going to support you. And if you look like this when you scream, I'm going to support you. If you look that good in that frumpy of an outfit,
right?
I'm going to give you a 9.
Mike, what are you giving Richard E. Grant here?
5. That's it.
No preamble. Here's the 5. Yeah.
I also see, excuse me, I see CSC Philadelphia, home of comedy sports, which I know is Don, gave Loki a 6.5.
Well, 6.5 for Loki, but 9 for the leather straps. So they came back in.
Those,
you gotta average that out. Yeah. So for this,
call Don. I was gonna get him on the horn right now.
Bring him in. Dial him in. I can redo my shirt to say Don. So retro Loki, I got to your point, Kristin, very frumpy. It almost looked like a diaper, the outfit but he did it so well, and Richard E. Grant is an amazing actor.
Yes.
Here's the thing. This is not any comment on Tom Hiddleston in any way, shape, or form. He hasn't become the highest level of his Loki. This Loki has. Yeah. Like, when he built Asgard to distract Eliath, it was awesome. Like, that was a tear-jerk moment, because he knew he was going to die. Like, there was no way he was going to live through that, what he was doing. And he absolutely allowed Sylvie and Loki to enchant the beast at that point. So his doing that, I'm going to go 10 on this.
Wow.
Full on Loki.
Wow.
Kevin pulled out a 10.
There's a lot of 10s out there. Leonard wants to give Retro Loki a 12.
Can't do that, Leonard.
I can't give Tom a 12. No one can give anyone else.
CSC Philadelphia says a 10. Nostalgic Populist says perfect 10. I thought this was about objectification. We're just often also talking about their qualities. We're talking about their personal qualities. I didn't know we were being soft this week. That's my bad.
Mike, you can objectify whatever you want.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's fine.
All right, let's go to C.
There he is.
All right. This got my motors running. All right.
Vote? Did it get your vote is the question.
It got my vote.
Yeah.
I stamped it, and I mailed it in, and I went down, and I did the vote in person.
Whoa.
That's how much I enjoyed
That's voter fraud.
For some reason, the moment Tom came on as President Loki, I felt like gird your loins, ladies. There was this slightly different energy, but I was here for it. I was so here for it. Just, oh my God. I'm sweating thinking about it. Plus, I'm wearing a hoodie and it's 95 degrees outside. He gets a 10.
Wow.
He's so hot. He's so hot. Kevin, you better give him a 10 or we're broken up.
Catherine Anderson gives him a 10. Catherine Anderson gives this a 10. Leonard says 9 for looks, 2 for personality. Catherine Anderson also giving it a 10. I'm going to give... the look is great. The screen time was terrible. So I'm going to give an 8 for look, and I'm going to give the series a 1.5 for not featuring these Lokis more throughout. So I think screen time was super low. For someone that was featured so prominently in the trailer. You know
but that's exactly it, Mike. And that's why I actually am giving the series way more than you did just there, because I love that they teased us. They teased us a lot. Like, when Mobius comes back in what is clearly the Pizza Planet car from all the Pixar movies, that's in the trailer, but there's nobody in his back seat. Like, they show the back seat because they digitally took out Sylvie, which is amazing. That's how they mess with you. They messed with all of us by putting him in the trailer so much. He was barely in it. How many seconds do you think he was in it? Like 6.6 seconds? That's great, because that's the score I'm giving him.
Hey!
Kevin,
Wow, good
we are
transition.
broken out.
I know, but he's not. Again, he's the part of Loki. Even our Loki, when he sees him, is just so like disappointed in like, this.
Yeah.
And
There's like there's a thing on TikTok. Don't forget, follow Kristin Katz on TikTok. It's useless. But there's a thing where it's like, if I met me, I think I'd think I was the worst. Like, and it basically, so someone put that noise over top of like Loki looking at all the other Lokis, and it was amazing. But particularly this Loki, he was like, ugh. All right, well, those are pretty good scores.
Brooke Curl says they like the deep voice, like the voice that he put on. It was like a Robert De Niro impersonation.
Who said that,
Brooke
Mike?
Curl. Brooke Curl.
Brooke, listen, you understand where my loins went. I was like, why do I feel different suddenly?
Oh, yeah.
And
Speaking of loins, how about I don't know.
Somebody wants a sirloin.
Yeah.
yeah, so we're gotta objectify this gate.
Can I go first on this one?
Yeah.
As I look at this lovely gator, I don't know if my scale goes high enough.
Oh no.
You can follow me, not on TikTok. I say a lot of offensive things on Twitter. I love this. Seeing the crocodile, or the gator rather, over and over was so adorable. And there is a moment where he like laughs, and it's so like it's just his eye does a little flick. It's so adorable. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him a 9. Give that sweet guy a 9.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Assuming it's a guy, we just assume.
We don't know.
Yeah. They do say they've never met a female Loki, so we have to assume.
Yeah, we're gonna assume that this is a gentleman Loki.
Gentleman gator.
Mike, what are you giving Gator Loki?
Leonard says a 10. There's really not a wide range in the chat. Everyone's just giving 10s across the board.
Just like everyone's hot. They're smoking hot.
I am a huge fan of the Irwins. You know, crikey, it's the Irwins and Steve Irwin. And this is not a crocodile. This is not a tough looking crocodile. It's got gold like LeMay on its like shoulders there. I think he looks cute at the pool. The kiddie pool is funny. 6.5. You know what I mean? Nothing serious. Nothing serious.
That's fine. That's kind of like right where I am, because I'm a huge Crocodile Dundee fan.
Oh, all right.
So those, and also in the film Romancing the Stone, there's some heavy gator action in that, and those are the gators I've been brought up on.
What about Pitfall? You all right with the Pitfall gators?
I don't follow.
All right, let's move on.
All right, that was another. Oh, you didn't? Did you not do?
No, she didn't rate it.
Sorry, go for it.
6.
Yep. There it is. All right, that was another edition of Hiddleston Heartthrob Hunkiness. Objectification. H3O. I think
I love that. Yeah. I really love that. I like also, just real quick to revisit the gator. We don't need a picture or anything, but I like when Mobius asks, "Are you sure it's a Loki?" And Richard E. Grant's, retro Loki just says, "It's green."
Yeah, it's
and
green.
That's enough.
It's green.
He's like, it's green.
Also, I can't believe we just keep dropping that Mobius is there. Mobius is alive. So this is like literally the only thing that could have made that entrance better was that like like horn that oftentimes is used in 80s movies. AKA Lost Boys, like different things like that. Like it would have made if he showed up using that horn when he pulled up through the grass.
It was also in the car. We're back to Scott Lang. That's what the horn was in the Ant-Man.
That's right.
Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, that's right. I could see. You got Lightning McQueen showing up again in the Pixar. It looks so much like the Pixar Pizza Planet mobile.
So now, Kevin, mentioning when Retro Loki and Mobius and Kid Loki and Alligator Loki are chatting, there's another friendship moment. Just a lovely another friendship moment. And I think that's Richard E. Grant's subtlety in that when Mobius was saying to him that you can change.
Yeah.
And the look, like, here's the thing about like movies that I think is really awesome that sometimes plays when you're seeing them in person. You don't get that thing, that like emotional, like you can't, because you're watching one thing, but then you
of course there's so much going on.
Film is forcing you to watch what the director wants you to watch. And it was that was the perfect edit from Mobius saying that and then watching Richard E. Grant. He has no line, he just goes like this, his face says thousands of things, which again leads to him being the true and full Loki version of himself.
Absolutely.
The end.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Oh, my L's fallen off. It's interesting. The second time I watched it, I realized when Kid Loki is talking to Mobius and he says Mobius, I was like, oh, of course. They've met. They've met before because they're in the void. It's also possible that Mobius himself is the one who pruned either of those two characters. So it's just there's just so much there, and it is fantastic. Including when Mobius gives them a second chance to come with him. You know, when he opens with the temp pad, he opens up to them, and he's like, "You guys want to hitch a ride?" or whatever he says, and they both decide, "No, we want to stay here." You know, Kid Loki even says, "This is my world." You know, this is my house. I have to defend it.
I have to defend it.
Blown moment.
Can we talk for about 3 hours about the scene with Sylvie and Loki just sitting together under, assumably, a blanket?
Yeah. Oh, tablecloth.
Tablecloth?
Yeah.
I thought that, okay, so most of the time, assumably, they're not in some field in a void land. Yeah. Movie magic, folks, right? So what I always think, and I'm so annoying about this with someone that just, like, loves acting and does acting and studied acting, is that those folks were just sitting on like a green screen stage and created this amazing moment between two people. And I think that's what's really special about, I think, when they cast Tom or when they cast just really great actual actors and performers in these superhero roles, is they earn sort of these moments where they're like fighting and crazy because you're like, oh, cool, that's what this is. But then that's just as enjoyable as watching two people talk for a good 10 minutes with no action or anything happening. Yeah. It's just as exciting, at least to me.
I also think because the depth of the actor, you know, obviously Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth were not, they were unknowns. When they were, I mean, they had done things, but not on any grand level. And you could say the same thing about Sophie. Like, obviously, again, she's got a body of work, but at the same time, we don't really know it, and especially here in the U.S. And to see the depth of that acting that they allowed to happen, and it's again, you know, you got to give Mouse House credit, or at the very least Marvel credit, because they've done it through Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier, they did it for incredibly so in WandaVision, and even the films where you're dealing with sometimes 20, 30 characters that all are vying for screen time, and they do give those moments where you have your Tony Stark. It means something when Tony Stark dies. Big spoiler, by the way.
What?
Let me fix my shirt. You know, Chris, you know, all of that stuff you're talking about is things that happen in the void, and I wonder, you know, what else might be in. Very quickly, one thing we know is in the void is Ecto Cooler.
That's right. Ecto Cooler is in the void, which is.
Is
a
it up? I
shame.
can't tell. If it's not up,
I don't know.
it's in the void.
Mike is now in the void. But I'm sad that Ecto Cooler, that Kid Loki had Ecto Cooler, because that was my favorite high C beverage.
Why? Why are you sad? Oh, because it doesn't exist in the world.
It doesn't exist because that's
There
it
it
is. Because they took it away.
Yeah.
And I thought the re-release of like the last Ghostbusters with Melissa McCarthy in them, and then like maybe now with this one, like high C, this is the perfect opportunity. Kristin Finger will buy a lifetime supply of Ecto Cooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I could change my shirt to high C, and everyone watching then would be like, "Oh, I should buy Ecto Cooler." Probably put the sales through the roof.
Yeah. Kev, do you want to play the? Is there another photo, or did you want to?
No, I think we should figure out what's in the void.
All right, I'm dropping it in the chat right now, everybody. Theories, start dropping them. What's in the void? What's in the void? Oh. You chose like Riddler colors there, Kevin.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if you noticed.
Yeah.
It's the Riddler question mark,
I
too.
got it. That was the first time I watched it in full, and I got it. So there you go.
I was going to have the Riddler pop up, but I was like, that's too much.
What's in the void?
But if you did, which Riddler would you have chosen, knowing that I would appreciate a particular Riddler?
Listen, I know, and I'm a fan of Jim Carrey, but it's always going to be Frank Gorshin, man. It's always going to be. Sorry. It's the way it is.
Who's your Riddler, Kristin? You mean Jim Carrey, right?
Jim Carrey. Perfection.
Not Paul. Yeah. You're not anticipating Paul Dano being your new favorite Riddler.
I don't think so.
Come on, even Brian Wilson. He's going to be amazing. Yeah. Brian Wilson is the Riddler. Fantastic.
I feel like that needs to be a remark. Like, who does it even care about that movie anymore? Anyway.
I know.
Yeah. What's in the void? What's in the void?
What's in the void?
So,
Kevin,
Chris.
Oh, no, Kevin, go.
I'm going to tell you the things that we know definitively are in the void. The first thing we see is a pirate ship. We know there's a UFO. We see the Thanos copter, which everybody went crazy. It's amazing in 2021 that Thanos copter can still trend on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody who hadn't watched the episode yet was like, yeah, damn it, how could you? We also saw a version of Mjolnir was in there, as well as Throg. We finally got Throg.
Yeah.
We've been talking about him. He shows up. We have the USS Eldridge, which is definitely a rabbit hole worth falling down and reading about it. All of it has been debunked, but, believe what you want to believe. That's, I think, what we do these days. To hell with facts and science. I want to believe this. That thing disappeared. We also have Ronin's ship that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. And we had I don't know how to say it. Is it do you know how to say it, Mike? Polybus?
Yeah. Yes. Polybius.
Bias?
Polybius.
Oh, the arcade
yeah.
game?
The arcade game that hypnotized people.
Yeah, that was Leonard mentioned that. Nostalgic Podblast mentioned that was their favorite moment was seeing the classic arcade game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So there was so much that was in the void that we know definitively, but we want to know what you think might be in the void. Chris, do you have any thoughts?
I have many thoughts.
Go on.
And these are more things that I think should be in the void.
Oh, you want to get rid of... Okay, so you're looking to prune some things.
These are some things that Kristin would prune.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to start with something simple, and then people are going to hate me as I continue.
Wait, Smirnoff Ice is not going to be one of those things, because I got to finish this cast. Okay, all right.
I'm going to start with jelly shoes. I think jelly shoes should have been pruned in the mid-90s, and they're back again, and they're garbage.
Yep.
Number 2 is Dawn, the character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, should have been pruned.
Not the soap. Not the soap. The soap's fine.
Well, I thought you said Don for a minute, our friend Don. You're talking about sweet Michelle Trachtenberg, the ice princess herself.
Get him out of here.
Wow.
Took the storyline to a place I didn't want to go.
Wow.
All right. So the third, this is where people might start hating on Kristin. It's not the character, it's who they hired to be the character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I do not think, well, I think let's prune Gwyneth Paltrow's version of Pepper Potts.
Yes.
Wow.
Keeping in mind, Mark Ruffalo was supposed to be our guest this week, but because Robert Downey Jr. defriended everybody on Instagram, he was too heartbroken to come on. So next week we do have Gwyneth Paltrow. So it's going to be awkward. It's weird. It's going to be weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So I those are some things that I would prune.
If you prune Gwyneth to do her like $500 candles that have a very specific scent, personal to her, disappear.
Listen, I don't care about her little philanthropies. What I care about is that in numerous interviews, she's been asked about moments in filming Marvel things, and she has forgotten that she's been in those movies.
You're legit, like, you can watch Chef, the series that Jon Favreau does, and they literally talk about that, and he's talking about the Avengers, and she said, I wasn't in the Avengers, I was in Iron Man, and he goes, no, that was Avengers we were filming, and you can just see she has no idea. It's awesome.
Like, what a waste. Ah!
Well, hey, listen, I have something that I think might be in the void. Legitimately, in my second viewing, I saw in the bowling alley. Now, I don't know what the bowling alley motif was, but there is an octopus and tentacle that is like, I want to say, I think it's boastful. Loki is talking, and it's like right behind him, and you can see like the suctions on the and I think it's the octopus that was cut from Goonies.
From Goonies?
Yes, from the scene in Goonies. Even though they still reference it, you can find it. It's terrible. Don't ever watch it. The Richard Donner, who we lost this week. So R.I.P. Richard Donner, and I think that the octopus is in the void. True story.
All right.
Black
Mike,
Wolf
are you getting
Magic.
any answers?
Yeah. Black Wolf Magic, who watches a bunch with us, said, I don't know, but the void looked like a lot of fun. A lot of things in there. Dr. Pepper, pretty vile. That could be gone. So they don't want Dr. Pepper. I disagree, Black Wolf. I love
Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
Leonard Steinman said, I didn't know this was a thing, but the Bell Beefer, I guess, was a Sloppy Joe sandwich from the 70s and 80s in Taco Bell. It was a Taco Bell burger. And Leonard wants the Bell Beefer to be there in the void. They just said Bell Beefer, and I was like, I gotta look this up because it could be.
Does he want that in the void? Because if he's ever in the void, he wants to go get one.
I believe so. Leonard, please clarify. Smart. Leonard plays trivia with us all the time. Leonard, clarify. You like the Bell Beefer or you hate the Bell Beefer? What should be in the void? Yeah.
That thing has got to be immediate diarrhea. Like, I didn't even touch your lips, and you're immediately running for the order.
I think that in the void are the first, 3 drafts of this season of Loki that they just threw out because they seem to be a little bit lost in the void themselves. And that is Mike's hot take of the day. We almost made it. We almost made it through the
Believable.
episode.
I thought we were okay again.
No. We're okay again. I just think that there's the void was super cool to see, and I think that that's where a lot of the great ideas came and went. That we missed in the last 2 episodes. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's a positive swing up because I think I'm getting everything that I was hoping for earlier in the void.
Mike, would you do me a favor and put the picture up I sent you? Because I think when this happens next week,
of course.
You're going to love the void.
Right. So this actually, I'm super curious what's behind the curtains, if you will. Yeah. All right. And let me get out of the way here so everybody can see it.
There it is.
Yeah. By the power of Grayskull.
Listen, if the Sorcerer Supreme turns out to just be the Sorceress, oh baby.
Listen, I'm going to break out my She-Ra sheets and roam that castle. Roam it? No. What is the word when you attack?
Let's just say roam. When in Rome. Let me ask you this, Kristin. We're not going to go through the whole opening, but H3O, Man-at-Arms. We talking a 10?
Yeah. Big time.
Only man with a bowl cut that gets a 10, in my opinion.
Right. That's right.
Somebody put Leonard also put the Zack Snyder cut as in the void. a nice crossover.
Just Ben Affleck in the void.
You just run into him on the street every day in the void.
Man.
So I do have legit questions. Are we done with the void? Are we out of the void?
We did it.
Mike, sing us out of the void. Give me an out of the void transition.
Out of the void, oi, oi, oi.
I thought you were going to yodel.
I didn't know where I was going with that at all.
It was nice. It was kind of like an into the woods, out of the void situation. I liked it.
I think that's where I was going for. That's what I was going for. An into the woods, out of the
Really good.
Mike Sondheim over there. Here I have two questions. One, Mobius leaves. You know, he hugs Loki. Loki says, goodbye, my friend, which is awesome because that's what he wanted. Mobius wanted a friend. He got a friend. Speaking of Kristen's friendship, Mobius turns to Sylvie and just kind of mouths, but says, you're my favorite, which was great. And then he's gone. Are we done in this series, anyhow, with Mobius? In this season of the series? Do you expect to see Mobius next week?
I do. I do.
Wait,
because
is this... I think this is... I'm so sorry. Is this theories and spoilers?
This is probably theories and spoilers. And come on, Kevin didn't slave in front of his computer for hours to not transition to this. Oh, good. Sorry.
Did I put metal on?
No.
I don't remember
somebody transition.
No, let me do it again. And here it is. Oh, we were so smooth up until this point. And
I have to pee so bad. Should I do that now?
No. And here it goes. There it is. All right, we're back. Worth it.
So yes, Kevin, I think we're going to see a little bit more of the Mobi.
Yeah.
Because I think in my brain, they're going to go and find out what's in Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
And they're going to discover some things, which then are going to maybe, like, Mobius is going to be with, like, Ravenclaw, and they're going to be doing things at the Time House. And I'm going to get all the things wrong on purpose at this point.
Perfect.
And then that's going to... And like Sylvie and Loki are going to be doing things. And then, Kid Loki's still there. Gator Loki's still there. I think it's going to be like a very sort of like, you know, at the end of Love Actually, where everyone realizes that they know everyone.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that airport moment at the end of Love Actually, where everyone's just going to come together at Castle Grayskull.
Is Emma Stone's heart going to be broken again? I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
You don't mean Emma Stone.
I was.
I mean Emma Johnson. You're right. I'm sorry. Emma Stone
also gets. Emma Stone gets her heart broken a lot too in movies.
That's my theory. Is that we're going to have an airport ending in the middle of Castle Grayskull.
I had an Infinity Stone in my mind. So I don't know, man. I could see it because he says he's going to burn down the TVA. I don't know if he's going to or not. I don't know if you're going to see him again. I would be okay if you didn't, because there is, not to give any credibility to what Mike said, there is a lot to mine from where they're at right now that I don't know how the hell they're going to do it in the time frame that they're going to do it. So
I think that is my point more than I think there are too many good ideas. You know what I mean? And it'll be interesting to see where they land. Everybody's on Catherine Anderson loves the intro, by the way, the transition. So it was it was worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah, Leonard thinks that Mobius is a variant Thor. Is their theory? I don't.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Look at Kristin broke. Kristin is broken. I would love that.
CSC Philadelphia thinks Sylvie's gonna die trying to like take down the TVA.
I do too.
Apparently, and I think Leonard said this earlier, but apparently the planet where the castle is what Retro Loki described on where they were staying after escaping Thanos. So I don't know. There's a whole thing there. And then Catherine Anderson just did a nice thinky face. Okay, so they're still thinking about it.
You gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Indeed, Catherine. Well, the other thing is like I don't want them to wrap it up because I want more. Yeah. Right. So like whatever happens next week, don't wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's just like cliff after cliff after cliff.
That every one of them we push Black Widow off of. Is that what you're? I don't want her to die. I'm just saying that.
It's her big day. She's having a big day today.
Yeah. Here's my other question. I hate to ask this question because I know that I have a feeling, and I think Kristen's heart will definitely break. Oh no. Will Loki stab Sylvie in the back? Because she says, "Don't do it." He says, "I won't do it." No.
I don't think so at all. Not at all. And I will bet you $5.
I have a better idea. How about your hair? I will shave my head bald.
Oh, come on.
I love my hair. Wait, where did it go? Yeah, all right. $5 is fine. I kind of think he will.
No,
just
I
because
will bet
it's so in his nature, and I don't.
We need
No.
Yeah.
No. The only reason that he may stab her is because it's in a moment of
There's a spider on her back, and he's like, "Let me get
No.
out."
Because it's almost like, I don't know if you guys watch Supernatural, big fan. But there's often times where the brothers have to do things that they don't want to do, but they have to do it to save the world. Loki might have to do this, just like when we had Black Widow die. One of them has to maybe sacrifice themselves, so then he's not going to do it on purpose. He's not going to, no, that's not his glorious purpose.
Oh, I was about to say it. You beat me to it. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So no, Kevin, you're wrong, and I can't wait to have your $5. I'm going to spend it on a
I will
giant
get-
burger made out of a cow because Kevin is vegan.
I am from Taco Bell. You're gonna go get that.
I'm going to go get that thing. Yeah.
The Bell Burger, the Bell Beefer. Kevin, I'm on your side. I think if it ends without the Loki that we know, like, you know what I mean? Listen, I mean, the Loki of Endgame did sacrifice themselves, right? And, like, team up with their brother. So there is good in Loki. But even, like, in those moments, there's still that trickster. There's still that, like, mischief, you know? And so I think there has to be some move like that to get, like, it would be weird to move forward in the MCU with just like this like nice Loki.
Couple.
Yeah.
Like the Loki couple.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's the series I've been waiting for my entire life.
I need a tragedy for sure. I need a Shakespearean tragedy, or else, you know, what was this all for type of thing. You know what I mean? I think there needs to be a lot of time mess ups and things that need to get fixed in the next like phase. Otherwise I would feel like it was a waste of a time.
Well, then
no
Mike,
pun intended. No pun intended. Yeah.
Mike, I would say if you feel it's a waste of time,
Hey.
don't go back and watch any of Kristin and my other remarks for the Hallmark movies, because that literally is what happens in every single movie.
Truth.
Yeah. Guys, we did it. We did it.
Under 50, I think we're at 58. We can. I was gonna try to keep you talking just so that we could go over.
No, I have been paying attention.
Leonard is saying, comic book wise, Retro Loki and Loki do work for like the Kang storyline. If they stay around. We talked about Sylvie. I think Sylvie dies. I agree with that, and I think Loki does something to cause it. I'm gonna go with you, Kevin. But
And then he carries that weight. I don't think he's happy about it, but
No.
right, I think he carries that weight. Yeah. Yep. And I agree. I think very likely we're going to see some semblance of Kang in this next
For
next
sure.
episode. This final episode. And then Kristin and I are going to have to figure out what will we possibly remark on next.
I
So
need your help. We're gonna probably do the only movie Kevin and I that no one else has ever seen called Brain Donors, but only our moms will watch that episode. But what else should we remark on? What's coming up that you're excited about? We're gonna do some Hallmark stuff because it's our
we can
bread
help
and butter.
ourselves.
It's our bread and butter, Kev. We don't make anything off of this joyful show. So please put in the chat what you think we should do. But also, if you feel like following Kevin's adventures, he's Your Hero Kevin on the Twitter and the Instagram.
And if you want to follow Chris's adventures, you can do it on Instagram, Twitter, and even though she never uses Twitter, and TikTok now at Chris and Cats.
Can you believe it? Guys, I'm learning how to use TikTok and it's going well. Thank you for asking.
And Mike, what's happening? I know you started the episode with it. Tell us what's happening in the world of Wizard.
Wizard World, we have 3 streams left in the sci-fi fantasy series. This week we have some of the cast members of Once Upon a Time. On Sunday, we have some of the cast members of Harry Potter in 2 Sundays. And then we wrap it up with the cast of Discovery of Witches. So if you're a sci-fi fantasy fan, please purchase those at wizardworld.com. Then we are going to take a break, and we will be back in October at Wizard World Chicago, October 15th, 16th, and 17th. Black Wolf Magic says Goki, Gator Oki. I like that. Goki
I like that.
is very, very cute behind you, Kristin.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
He
So
has even another baby gator inside of his mouth.
I didn't notice that until now.
It's part of it.
But yeah, check us out at wizardworld.com, and we'll be back for the final episode next week. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's correct, yes.
All right, and just like I said last week, if Kristin and Kevin get 3 episodes in a row under 60 minutes, then that is what gets them the invite to host this live at Wizard World Chicago. So tune in. This is 2. We need to see if the streak happens next week. So tune in, everybody.
Tune in or 90-minute special next week.
Transition!
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
This is absurd.
All right, wave goodbye, everyone. Wave goodbye. I'm just doing this for 10 more seconds because that puts you officially over an hour.
See you in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.